you should be going.
Welcome back, everyone, to Currents of War. It's been several weeks because the holidays hate us personally. Um, or just because the holidays are busy and, life stuff comes before D&D. Fabula Ultima, I suppose. Apple. Last time, on Currents of War, the gang went down to the mausoleum, talked to some ghosts, had a bit of a fun time, um, and then went back up to the top of Merlot and talked to some of these mercenaries who have some uncanny ties to our good friends. Um, I don't know. There's some stuff I need to recap. I'm like, did we actually get all this exposition out, or am I just remembering things that we still had to explore yet? Because we did have some unfinished business in Merlot, I feel. Um, but the base is currently only being the fortress of Merlot is only really being staffed by a skeleton crew at the moment, mainly of like the least competent, least experienced soldiers. Um, and that
Skeleton
this
crew.
mer
Oh, sorry.
were you about to make a pun on the fact that it's a skeleton crew and there's ghosts in the basement?
Oh, I was just gonna say skeleton crew is ironic considering who's in our party.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah, fair.
But luckily, some mercenaries, many of which are in fact Bretonks and even from Anglesex, um, have stepped up to continue to help defend the fort. The small feet heroes, some of which have some very familiar last names and lineages, including one, Morgan, whose last name is Baker.
Yes.
Art talked to Morgan pretty in depth and learned that his family has, in fact, grown a lot, despite him only leaving one son behind back in the past, Samurai Jack. So that's sort of a big revelation. And you know that the current leader of this, the person who should be running this fort, um, uh, Renoir Baptiste has been summoned to Leonis, a very large city, much further to the east, for reasons unknown to you at the time. Did I cover everything? I feel like that's the exposition we have so far.
Pretty sure that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if there's any business we have in Merlot we want to finish up, we can as well. I believe we were thinking of going to this small little town over here, not too far from Merlot.
Oh
The little
yeah.
question marks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Doc might have Bric-a-Brac as a. Doc thinks Bric-a-Brac might have a crush on her. She's not sure how to feel about that.
Duck knows Bric-a-Brac
Have
has
we
a
been
crush
here
on her.
before?
Yes, that was the Troll Village.
Oh, okay. Right, because we.
You remember them? They had that one sick friend who you guys killed.
And that blew up the house of the medicine troll.
Utterly murdered it.
Yeah, once Rawhead started pulling the whole, we're not so different, you and I, Doc was like, I'm pulling the ripcord.
I mean, it was a fair reaction, I think. Somebody's creeping you out, you're entitled to blow up a house.
No, it's kind of like nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Also that.
There we go. Updated that map a little bit. So yeah. The tape is yours, gang. What do we want to do? Also, did we have time for an interlude last session? I forget. Did you guys have time to rest, relax, recover HP and MP and IP?
I think we
True
didn't.
interlude? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think we had a true interlude. I think we kind of ended with us staggering out of the mausoleum into the inn.
All right. Then we'll
I think.
start there, making sure that you all have. I'm sure the people who've been listening to the recording are gonna be screaming at us if we're wrong here. But we'll start with an interlude just to make sure you're all rested up and healed. I don't want to throw you into anything unprepared.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah. Anyone need to forge bonds, renew bonds, strengthen bonds, invest in
I'm gonna
bonds?
change Flavian's mistrust bond with Art to loyalty at this point,
Ooh.
seeing that he really does have family and stuff. Some truth to this skeleton man story.
I think I'm gonna do affection for Flavian because that's the last one I haven't put a bond in for yet. And also, we've had too many shenanigans. He's fond of them.
Yeah, actually, same with Duck and Moncher. He's the last one I need to fill out a final bond with.
All of my bonds are full, actually, so. Except for the one for
Well, remember,
Johanna and
you're not
Marta.
just limited to the. You're not just limited to the 6 on the front of the sheet.
No,
You're allowed to
know.
have
Oh, yeah.
extra bonds.
I have Johanna and Martha and I just, none of the ones that I have have changed yet. If that makes any sense.
There.
I'll
Fair.
add as well a hatred bond with Ross Weber. Not like a true like outright hatred, but like what the heck was this guy doing? What is he doing? I don't know how to feel about him
Yeah,
right now. Sort of hate.
Hatred substituting for fear for anger in this case.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess I'll just add affection to everyone to fill up the bonds.
Delicious. All right.
Can I actually add one for bric-a-brac too?
Absolutely.
I don't know if admiration would probably be the best one.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh, you sweet deluded kid. I like your spirit."
Yeah. Good of you to
It is
make it this
10
far.
It's 10 Zenit per IP we're restoring, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Fill
Kinda.
that back up.
So I didn't know that was a feature.
Well, don't worry too much about it.
Yeah, because Duck does a lot of thievery to steal IP points back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Alrighty. Well, you finish resting at the inn. When you wake up in the morning, the mercenaries, the small feet heroes are eating breakfast. They nod respectfully at you as you come down, and the day is yours. What would you like to do?
I guess we can. We're gonna go check out that rumored goblin town nearby.
All right.
I mean, that would be Duck asking the group. I don't want to make decisions, you know,
I think
Yeah.
that was,
authoritatively.
I'm pretty sure that was the plan that we were going with.
It
Yeah,
is
it's-
what I have in my notes.
It's what we're going to do because it's on the way to Firmfield, and then we're going to go from Firmfield and go say hello to Barbara's Forest and Nine Root.
Oh, yeah, we still have that kid with us, don't we?
Yeah, Martha.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's here. She's got a mouthful of pancakes.
It's good.
Not crepes? Because we're in France? Not France?
You know what? You've got me. It would be crepes. She has a mouthful of crepes, and you know what? It's just as good.
Crepes
I
are
mean,
pretty
it's
good.
slightly worse. Paul Bunyan, don't kill me.
To be fair, crepes are pretty good.
Crepes
They
are
are.
pretty good.
But
There's
I
a
forgot,
whole-
That's right. You got to
there's a
watch
whole
out specifically for Paul Bunyan in your area.
There's a whole section of Wizard School Mysteries Book 2 that's just two characters talking about why crepes and lumberjack style griddle cakes are both equally good despite being opposite sides of the pancake spectrum. They really are, though. Okay. So you guys head off in search of this other rumored boogeyman settlement. You travel a while, and as you do, sort of looking at your map, they don't mark on the map like weather phenomena. The further you get towards where this place would be on your map, the foggier everything gets until you are in a thick field of fog. But eventually you do feel like you're close-ish. You can sort of see in the gloom a town.
And is this fog thick enough to block out the sun?
No, but it's thick enough where like it is significantly darker here. Like it's overcast above.
Okay.
So it doesn't fully feel like nighttime, but it's dark. You eventually do come across like the wall of a building. But it is as Jack Skellington would say, the reindeer can't see you and a foot in front of their noses right now.
What is Lavender Town playing?
I don't know. This fog's as thick as jellied brains.
Well, I mean, there's going to be at least one spooky goblin town that kind of like comes to it, but I don't trust like that.
Yeah, especially with the jelly brain comment.
You don't hear the narrator when they're making Nightmare Before Christmas jokes.
So, Duck, what did they tell you about this town?
Did Duck get any information?
Not much. But this was one of the leads that the mayor of one of the previous towns that my brain's blanking on was going to give to George Gar as a possible place one could find goblins.
Ah. Is this the door?
It is. So you guys go through the town. You notice you find things like barrels and stuff, but they're broken, in disrepair, and seemingly long since abandoned.
Can I look in these windows.
This is looking a lot like a ghost town. Hopefully not like that other one.
Am I able to peer through these windows here, or?
Yeah, you can. You want to do a double insight check to look in?
Sure.
You see a shape inside there, that looks vaguely human-sized, but the gloom is so thick you can't quite make out what it is. And seconds after you notice it, it seems to notice you back and disappear further inside the building.
Hmm.
Right old spooky town.
What did you see?
There's a shape inside.
Grugan and Duck, I will also give you this. The buildings and stuff that you're seeing do not look to be either goblin or orc make. This does not seem like a boogeyman settlement specifically.
Okay. Unless they moved into an abandoned town like the trolls did.
Mm-hmm. Very possible. Well, Monchair moved into the darkness.
Indeed.
Just like Sora and Goofy.
The
Okay, there's a well
darkness.
They put bugs in
There's a
them.
well right. If I peer down
Is-
the well, do I see anything?
Do a
been
double
giving
insight
a-
for me.
I've been giving a wide berth to the well.
You don't see something specifically, like you don't see anything that you can make out, but you do briefly see a sort of yellow flash from the bottom of the well, and hear the sound of some water sloshing a bit before it goes still.
Say TT.
Yeah,
Weird.
Is this a door right here?
that is in fact a door.
Can I try to open it?
Yeah, do either a double might check, a might and dexterity check, or a double dexterity check.
Let's go effort. Because it sounds funniest. Don't know what. Critical
Whoa.
success!
Well, okay.
Fuck. Yeah,
Fuck
you
this
you,
door.
Yeah, you fucking break that door down.
There he goes.
And you break it down very quickly. So quickly, in fact.
Oh, spookums. Hello?
You briefly see a pale humanoid figure in the back, who reacts with alarm and then disappears as you come closer inside this ruined, cobweb and dust-filled house.
You see anything in there, bud?
The one thing I did see vanished. So either I want to say, I don't know, maybe something not alive? Or at the very least good at using stealth magic.
Gotcha. Art's gonna like take the bandana properly and like tug it down back into his shirt so the jaw's hanging out. Be like, "Good news, bad news, crew. It's probably ghosts."
Well, we weren't sure what we were gonna find in the first place, so
I mean-
As long as it's not those red cap things, yeah.
I wouldn't put it past Redcaps inhabiting here. These are pretty nice buildings, despite their dilapidated age.
Don't you
Like,
know the
man.
art of reassuring somebody, Art?
Also, if there is a goblin town, it's probably down there. Points at the well.
Yeah, there's just water down there.
I mean, it wouldn't be the
Gross.
first goblin town that I've heard being accessed via well. You know,
Gross
sometimes
yellow
there's
water.
caverns.
It's got a point.
Well, I ain't taking a dive down no dirty well. You can, though. By all means.
I mean, if you want to be up here with the ghosts by yourself, that's perfectly fine. I kid. We're gonna explore the buildings first, and then go in the well.
Can I tell if these are like old bloodstains or if they're just unfortunate features of the map?
Yeah, I'm going to make you do an insight willpower check on this one.
Okay.
Can I help?
They
Yeah, my willpower isn't actually that. Oops.
Okay. As you touch the blood, the first thing you notice is that, unlike everything else here, it's fresh. Which, even as an old soldier, or perhaps especially as an old soldier, sends a chill down your spine, because that means some horrible shit happened here pretty fucking recently.
So he's gonna.
But you're able to plow through that initial shock to be like, wait a minute. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Because you guys have been close enough to this town where if anything happened this recently, you would have heard it. So while this is blood, it can't be here under normal circumstances.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
What you thinking, Grugan?
That's a good. He's gonna take his beast axe and dip the silvered blade into the blood there. Does that do anything, or is it just?
The blood does not react, so it doesn't seem to be Rawhead related.
That's
This
good
is
at
not
least.
Red Cap blood.
He's gonna show the blood is fresh to Art and go. Did you hear anything while we were coming down the road?
No, not Pete. But with the ghost in the other building and fresh blood, it's not a good sign. Can I see how many houses there are roughly around here?
Yeah, if you, I'll reveal some, because you guys have been searching a bit.
Now, I might be just an spectre haunting his own body, but we've had a goblin town, we've had a troll town, and we've seen a ghost. Is this a ghost town? Is that a thing?
What do you mean? You haven't heard of a ghost town before?
Well, no,
You
I've
know,
heard of like
towns
a
that people
ghost.
did.
Well, yeah, I know like a ghost town where people abandoned, but like we think like Monsieur almost pretty sure saw a ghost. Like, is this a undead and ghosts live here?
So, what caused the blood?
I don't know. But
Vampire.
Make a double insight check. Anyone who wants to figure out the blood conundrum.
we're gonna
Yeah, I'm
be
curious.
careful no matter what we do. Double Insight check.
God.
Just recall.
I can't
Okay,
tell
those
shit.
Those of you got 10 or above. A very common symptom of hauntings or effect of ghosts is to make buildings bleed.
Yeah.
The blood in question will taste and move and look like blood, but actually isn't truly blood. It is ectoplasm mimicking the appearance of blood.
You want me to see if I can taste it? If it tastes like ectoplasm?
It'll taste like blood.
No, if you want to put that in your mouth, even if you are dead.
That's fair, I suppose.
Safe to assume that we're dealing with some sort of haunting.
It is a ghost town. Okay.
Can I go into this door?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I just... No? Okay.
You find another empty house. Sort of a needle in a haystack situation I've put you all in.
As he enters, he's going to go, I mean no harm. I don't want to harm any of your things or mess up your house. We're just trying to figure out what's going on. And he'll-
Double insight check of 14.
Okay. For me?
For you, since you're the only one in the house so far. Holy shit, exactly.
Squeaked back.
Let's go.
You hear a small, frail voice whisper from under a broken table. At night.
At night?
Return at night.
Okay. And he's gonna turn back and go out the door. It's, they said come back at night. Not entirely sure that it's not night right now, but if they say so.
They come mostly at night. Mostly.
Mostly. That's right, it's the Xenomorph Village.
Oh no.
No. I'm not doing this again.
Doc's been trying to rummage around this building for a while.
Which building? Give me 1 second. It's a small little cottage. The most weird thing is there's a smell of freshly baked bread, despite this place being empty and devoid of anything that could be considered food. Unless you're like a termite.
Would that be another symptom of a haunting? You know, like a memory of whatever's haunting the area?
Yeah.
Since Duck, her magic is based around curses and weird time magic, could she try to get a vibe for what kind of curses on this place? Would that
I'll
be
let
like an
you make
entropic ritual?
I'll let you make an insight willpower check to try and connect with the spiritual energy of this place via your innate connection to curses and fate magic to try and figure out what's going on.
And with the Goetic Maleficarium, with its +4 bonus to dealing with demons, would that get a bonus?
Unfortunately, no, this is not demon related.
I didn't think so, but I was just casting wide. 16.
Okay. Um,
I'm interrogating the curse.
so it's very interesting because the curse that's on you is it's fey magic, but it's also the magic of. It's really funny to say those both together now that I say it out loud. Um, magic related to your destiny and thus to death itself. And something very similar is going on here, but at a much, much more grand level. Like, you can feel that there's definitely something intensely fairy, that you guys are in essentially a part of fairyland, even if it's just a small part right now.
Oh, like the woods we started out in?
Yeah, and yet it's also it's got deep sort of underworld vibes as well. You are in a liminal space both between the arcane and the mundane and the occult and the mundane.
Ooh. Duck, just getting those vibes. She's just gonna check that amber vial of that fella she has. Not like it's not expecting it to be glowing or anything. She's just like, stuff is weird here.
It's,
But
Funny that you're not expecting it to be glowing because that's exactly what it's doing.
oh shit!
It kind of it feels not quite warm in your hand, but active, volatile in a way, like when you've shaken up a can of soda.
Ew. And to it's empty, right? As far as Duck's aware.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's gonna scamper out and be like,
Be
shit's a lot weirder here than I was expecting. Gather up Flavian and scamper up to the rest and kind of explain the vibe check.
Mm-hmm.
well,
The liminal. What?
Remember how we had to skirt around the forest rather than go straight through it after Skullcrack? There was danger of getting lost. Something like that's happened here. I don't think it's a lost thing. I just think something powerful enough has cursed this place, or it leaks through. I don't know. Yeah, it gives a shrug. But it's a fairy death curse. Sort of. I don't know, so she just gives a shrug.
That's fair. To be
Nothing
honest
that
with
bad.
you, to be honest with you, this place makes me feel like I'm back. Like this is the most normal I've felt in a while. Can't tell you why though.
Fairy
Also,
death
I think we
curse, as
do
in-
need a. Oh, sorry.
Fairy death curse, as in like we're gonna die staying here.
I mean, if whatever curse manifests kills us, or whatever is cursed, I don't know. But pulls out the glowing vial of Hela. I do think we need to go underground because temples of Hela are always underground, near sources of water.
Really insisting on diving into that well, aren't you?
Well, you made it seem like a bad idea, so I just have to give you crap about it. So, and it doesn't like Duck looks. Is it gross? Or does it just look like a normal well?
It's not gross. It looks like a normal well. Other than the fact that it's just, no one's been taking care of it in what looks like decades.
Okay, so
Like the rope that would pull you up the thing is probably like eaten through by this point.
yeah, because Duck is, I won't say rich, but she's gonna just drop his Zenit down,
Mm-hmm.
see if there's any reaction.
Double inside check.
Could drop an elemental shard down there, just bolt it.
Wouldn't that fry any goblins touching the water, though?
Probably.
There is
15.
a clink and a hiss and a flash of something yellow, and the sound of something larger than you would like, sloshing in the water, as it tries to avoid what you dropped down there. Then the water runs still again.
Okay, Duck will look. It's like, there's someone down there. And then stick her head into the well and shout, "Is that you, Red Rawhead, you big fucking nerd?"
I want my Zenit back.
Okay. I need you to make a double might check for me.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Not might. I got a doubles.
Okay, that's good.
It's not a crit.
All right.
If whatever has
You
a bonus,
take-
I'm boned.
You take 9 poison damage as suddenly a nasty foul vapor rises up from the bottom of the well, and just sort of like whaps you in the face, and it feels like you're inhaling, mold spores. That's not what it is, but that's what the sensation feels like. You're just
Yeah.
like suddenly coughing and feel gross.
Yeah. It didn't taste like Rawhead.
Yeah? How was that, Duck? You still want to jump in there? Huh?
Let's see. She pulls out her book and just starts mumbling. Telekinesis, throwing people. Oh, something's down there, but yeah.
Oh, keep an eye on the well then.
Was that a spell from a monster, TT?
Yeah, it is.
Can I pick that up then?
Okay. Let me type this in chat.
My first Chimera spell. Yeah, I had to go look up that panel to make sure I said the right thing.
In the loot box for you.
More to oh. I know what that is, like, historically, not the bog leech thing, too, so... Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Would Duck know? Being a fairy?
I would say Duck would not know because while the fairy that who has a specific power, they exist and they are spread throughout Midgahheim, but outside of Selpict they are rare. Not unheard of, but they are rare. You would know this is some sort of poison magic or disease magic, possibly.
Okay. Oh, and there's a. What's the cost for it?
Oh yeah, shit. It's 5 MP. It's a fairly cheap spell.
I was kind of needing some lower MP offensive spells anyway, so not bad. Okay. Well, damn. Should have saved that.
And that's a good roll.
Yeah.
There you go. You got a little spell. And there's still 2 houses unexplored. Oh, 3 technically. Although I can reveal this one because Monshare's already in it.
Ooh,
It's a stable. Yeah, your feet were in it. It's a stable.
Okay.
Monshare, as you step in here, there is the first fresh thing you've noticed here, other than the blood, and that is tracks. Specifically, there are, hoof prints from various horses. But more than that, there's a number of grooves caused by carriage wheels.
Say, guys, I got some tracks here.
And they are fresh. They could be, like, no earlier than made last night.
This place is weird.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Is it possible that just the ghosts made those to confuse us?
Or the ghosts are driving around a real cart.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably possible too.
Are there like ghost stories of phantom carriages?
Yeah, I would say both Duck and Grugan. The minute you say the word phantom carriage, you realize that there are, in fact, a whole group of undead fairies called the Phantom Carriagemen. Whose whole thing is being ghosts that ride on these ghostly carriages and help shepherd the souls of dead fairies from the mortal realm through fairyland to the afterlife.
Oh, see, I was just making a guess based off of modern ghost stories of like phantom taxis.
I mean, the Phantom Taxi has the predecessor. It's the Phantom Carriage. It's a bit of Irish folklore.
Yeah, I didn't know that, so that's like neat that Duck would actually know that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duck would look to Grugan. It's like, you don't think Phantom Carriage, do you?
Could be. With the
Death
rest of
fairies.
this- The way the rest of this town feels, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what? I'm gonna go up to that house we first saw coming in. I'm gonna go knock on their door and see if they'll talk.
Knock on the door.
Is this the door, or is there a door down here, or what am I looking at?
Looking at it, there's
Ring a
one
bell.
window.
Yes.
This is a door. That's a door.
I go to this door and knock.
You get no response.
Is it locked?
No.
Art will gently open the door, shuffling his own ghost body, and it's like, hello? Anybody here?
It takes a moment. But eventually something manifests, pale and unearthly. This specter that initially appears like just sort of cloth that's managing to seep through the cracks in the floorboards before it swirls and contorts until it's in a vaguely feminine shape. It looks at you with 3 gaping holes in its vaguely human face. 2 where the eye sockets would be, and 1 where the mouth would be, but none of them defined in the way that a mouth and an eye would be.
Howdy. I'm normally British, but today I'm apparently Southern.
Ghost
Good afternoon.
Scared the south out of you.
She cocks her head to one side. Tears Day. You died on Tears Day. Many years ago. And as she's talking, little tears appear on like the skirt section of her body and open and sort of vibrate with noise.
Aye, that beat correct. It'd be about, I think 50 or 60 something odd years ago now. My apologies. Where are my manners? The name's Art. Art Baker.
She floats towards you and touches your face with her hand. It's cold and clammy. I'm too late to mourn you.
It happens.
But I can cry for you now if you would like.
You don't have to do that. It's fine. I'm on a bit of my own living mission, so I've kind of don't have a whole lot of time. Are you the only one here currently, or is it are there others that aren't awake yet, or what's the situation?
They're asleep. Our time isn't until the sun goes down.
That's fair. That's fair.
I only rose because I thought you were one of us. And to tell you to go back to sleep.
A completely reasonable mistake to make in this kind of a situation. Would you prefer us to go and just wait outside the edge of town till nightfall? Or, because I got the living ones out there that I'm walking with, so I don't get too hurt or lost.
The living?
Oh yeah, a couple of fairy, a human, and a dragon, I think.
Oh my.
If it wasn't an important situation, I'd probably be traveling alone, but I got some news to talk about when everyone wakes up, but it's one of those things everybody should probably hear about at the same time.
She thinks for a moment. Well, it would be rude to turn you away without hospitality. But I can't make food for you.
Oh, I appreciate the offer, darling, but no worries. I understand given the situations. Like I said, if you'd like, we can get set up in the town square and wait for you all to wake up and talk and get you going on your own time. Don't need to bother you when it's not your hour, you know what I mean?
If you do not mind, we will be happy to play host when the sun is down.
Fantastic. We'll do that for you, darling. No worries. You'll get some rest, and I'll make sure they stop breaking into every house.
She nods, and then she slowly seeps back into the floorboards.
Good news, gang. It's ghosts. It's a ghost town. They're all asleep. They'd appreciate it if you stopped breaking into their house at the equivalent of 3 a.m.
Doug pops out of the house. Oh, okay.
Didn't break into any house.
That's fair. They're willing to play host for us. If we don't mind waiting. Which I suppose we don't mind waiting.
do
But-
want to know what's going on around here, so if we have to wait, we have to wait.
Yeah, and it beats.
Yeah, but can we trust these ghosts? They're not gonna like try to steal our bodies so they can become one of the living again or something like that, can they?
I mean, with you, there's nothing to really gain from that.
Wow.
Fuck.
Have you know that my body is very coveted by ghosts, specifically?
Not clever.
So, like, this is where Art's head's going to turn towards Flavian, and it's oh right, the hanging jaw, he's not of the living. So, the dead tend to just go through a series of courtesies and rules and things of that nature. They have offered to be gracious hosts, which means no, they're not going to take over your body. I do have direct apologies if they can't cook food, so I think they're more going to be happy there's just people in town they haven't met before.
I don't mind waiting.
Whatever.
Told her we
He's
wait.
walking through the fog again.
I am gonna wait away from the well, though.
Yeah, I suppose we can ask him about that well.
Oh yeah. We'll get it to camp, set up, and wait. And it would be a perfect time for Martha to meet ghosts and the undead, because it's probably the safest time for a child to meet ghosts and the undead. And I'll keep her safe, no worries.
You should probably ask Martha if she wants to meet the undead or not. I mean, she's already technically met you, but...
I know what you mean. I was going to ask her, but I just wanted to run it before I asked her by you guys.
Martha's sitting in the cart feeding the Yale's carrots.
Fantastic. Art comes up like, Martha, I have an interesting opportunity for you.
Okay.
You want to meet a bunch of ghosts?
Yeah.
That's fair, I should have
Well, we're gonna-
that.
Well, we're gonna get camp set up over in this ghost town. The ghosts are sleeping right now, but they're gonna come out at night. And they've offered to host us. So I figured if you wanted to, I'd introduce you to some ghosts and get you a little less afraid of the undead.
Awesome.
And I'll keep you safe, no worries.
Right. You all set up camp and in the center of the town square, away from the well. And as you do, the sun eventually starts to set, and once it has disappeared, things start to shift. And slowly, shadows begin to form out of the fog as the fog recedes and take on physical form. You see many people walking about with mostly intact bodies, except their heads are missing. You see these vague, somewhat amorphous, spectral feminine figures whose bodies tear open whenever they talk. And every now and then a carriage rushes by from out the stables and off into the fog. It's two drivers, these sort of gaunt skeletal men, cackling madly as they travel into the night. It's very like opening scene of Spirited Away feeling. not quite the opening scene, but like, early on, Act 1 of Spirited Away, of like, oh, the spirits are here.
Wow. Isn't that, like, looks down at Martha, isn't that the coolest thing?
Oh my gosh. This is what ghosts are like? And the ghost that you met before, Art, eventually floats towards you all, and looks at you and says, "Oh, you have a little girl. Hello, little girl," and she pats the girl on the head.
This is Martha. She's my ward, keeping her safe on a big heroic adventure she's on. She's gonna go fight a wizard.
125 years. Thursday.
Oh yeah, she'll tell you the day you're gonna die. By the way.
And then, as much as she can, with her face made out of like just 3 big gaping holes, she twists the bottom hole into a sort of smile. Although it's like, when you're a kid and you have a big lump of clay and you just stick your finger in it and then crudely scratch out a smile, that's what it looks like.
Oh, yeah, so here's the rest of the crew that I was telling you about. We come bearing news. Maybe not good news, but like news you need to hear.
Okay.
Mainly, this is actually a really good question. I don't know how old you are. Normally it's rude to ask. But, do you remember the Goblin Wars at all?
Oh. Yes, we do.
Yeah, they're doing another one. It's so stupid.
Some other villagers begin to notice this conversation, and when the term Goblin War pricks ears, they start to gather a bit closer.
Yeah, so, I am technically on a task from the Vault of the Hallowed Dead. I am telling everybody that a new Goblin War is on the way, and that, be prepared for the most part. I had a potential, that's how we actually found your town. We had a potential rumor of what was thought to be a goblin town. Very clearly not. But we're passing on the message anyway, just so folks can stay safe and not be bothered by that pompous red prick. Sorry, I know it's a bit more of a living thing with still having the body and everything, but that guy is such an arsehole.
One of the headless knights says, "What trick do you speak of?"
Oh, Sir Garston II.
Oh, my voice connection shit itself. Hold on. Hello?
Okay, so Discord was fucking up. Okay,
Yeah.
because I said Sir Garston II, and all of a sudden it went dead silent. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And people started leaving and entering it.
it was Discord doing a fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prick's named Sir Garston II. The Breton's warriors are marching in on a quote-unquote goblin war of pillaging and sacking, and we don't know how many actual goblins they're going to try to kill versus just Frankane people. So we're just giving a warning and letting communities know along the way as we travel that there is a resistance force going, both for humans and goblins and supernatural beings. and we wanted to make sure you knew so you weren't out of the loop.
Everyone make a double might check.
Oh boy.
Fantastic.
I think they gas us.
Nope.
Oh, I rolled twice. No, it just
Yeah.
moved up. That's me.
Did we say that was
Okay.
Duck's curse?
Flavian, Duck, and Art, you all take 5 physical damage as one of the ghost ladies speaks, and when she does, her skirt area rips open with several huge holes as her voice sort of shrieks through the air.
Oh, Banshee?
I don't see why this is our concern. I don't feel like we should be worried. We're already dead.
Yeah, but do you want to find out if you can get any deader? Is that really a risk you want to take?
She frowns as best as she can with her banshee features, but says nothing.
Now, and to bring up a point, we were intercepted intel that was headed for Garston. Your town was marked on the map to be razed and burned to the ground. And even if you're dead, 9 times out of 10, people still like having a place to haunt, you know what I mean?
One of the headless people holds her bloated, malformed, severed head up so that it can speak and says, "That's true. If they burned the town down, what would we do during the night? Just walk around homeless? I wouldn't even be able to make my bread." There are some murmurs, and the nice banshee that talks in the quiet voice speaks up. "These strangers came here to warn us out of the goodness of their hearts. Just because we have 1 foot in the other world and 1 foot in this does not mean that we are not connected to those who are firmly in the land of the living. If they came to warn us, is it not only right and fair that we should help them in return?" Again, there are murmurs. One of the armored, headless men steps forward. "If this Garston II is like Garston I, he would be a very excellent warrior, correct? One who would be particularly impressive to defeat in combat?"
Yes. 100%.
The Doulahan reaches behind him and pulls out a whip made out of human vertebrae. "I think it might be nice to go riding again." There are some murmurs, and the ghostly fairies begin to think about the possibility of fighting for their more warm kinsmen.
Does the one in the well have an opinion?
They all look, and some of them pale a little bit at the notion. The quiet banshee speaks up. She is a dangerous thing, but she is young. She should be left out of this.
Can I ask what it is in the well? Or she is in the well?
Many of them are tight-lipped, but the nice banshee says, "She is a Knucklevi."
Yep.
And at that, some of these undead fairies shiver just a little bit. Everyone except Grugan can go ahead and make a double insight difficulty of 12 to try and figure out what a Knucklevi is.
No bonus for Duck even being a goblin.
No bonus. This, you haven't encountered one of these in your past.
Damn, Art, you're rolling like ass tonight. I could at least stick my head down there and be like, hey, just a heads up, this is happening. Better for her to know and not, accidentally come up and...
I kind of like that Flavian's the only one who knows. Flavian, you have heard, probably from international traders' tales of Knuckle of Ease. They're a notoriously powerful dark fairy. They tend to live in Selpict, generally around the northern islands that connect with Germanor. They look sort of like a centaur in that they're a combination of horse and man. Only if the man half was just growing right out of the horse's back like a tumor, and they didn't have any skin, and they also had adaptations to live in the water. Just, like a nightmare centaur, basically. Like if centaurs had Cenobites. They are supposedly very horrible, very large. They cannot stand fresh water in the mundane world. Like they'll dissolve at the touch of fresh water normally, unless the water has been polluted. And they tend to be followed by disease.
Got coughs a little bit.
Yeah, it's a very good thing you didn't dive into that, Duck. You said they're a young one. Are they still pretty big?
The Banshee nods. Right now, she would look like roughly the size of a pony. She will get much bigger when she grows to her full maturity.
Oh, so she's a kid. Okay. Yeah, no, then I won't bother her. That would be mean. Don't need to worry a kid about none of that.
Martha peeks her head out. There's a kid?
Not the kind of kid you want to see, kid. No, definitely not. No. Stay away.
The Banshee thinks, well, it has been a while since she's had a playmate.
It did kind of drop a coin on down the well. Oops. Also, I don't know if this is a faux pas bringing up, Goddess of Death in such company, but Duck will pull out the Hela file.
It is glowing quite spectacularly. They see it and seem to take no umbrage with it. There's some interest, just the fact that you have a pretty glowing vial, but banshees and doulahans and phantom carriages have a pretty cemented place as psychopomps. They're respected in their own right.
Okay.
A lot of undead, not all, but a lot of undead do essentially have permission to be here.
Was there a goblin settlement here? Historically, or?
The Banshee shakes her head. No, but if a human gave you the intel, it's possible they may not have known that there was a difference between boogeymen and fairies of the afterlife. Humans blur these things together so often.
And was there a temple to Hela?
No temples here. Merely
think so.
many caves.
Any what?
Graves. I
Well, Martha, do you want to see if we can't go make you a new friend?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
So I'm gonna start the lead because we messed with it earlier, and I think it poisoned Duck, or was it Flavian? Flavian, did you get hit by the blast out of that? I didn't see.
No, because I'm not an idiot. And if anything happens to that kid, it's not on me.
Do I get hit by it?
Like, what was it gonna do? Make me have difficulties breathing?
No, I'm asking Flavian.
Oh, no, that's fair.
Why on earth would I want to get hit by something that just spreads diseases?
Because you're kind of being a bully.
Kind of being a bully, as in I don't want to potentially get killed.
Before we go do that, though, Art's gonna turn to the Banshee. I don't know if any of you have any living relatives over in Firmafield, but that's the direction we're heading. And if you need us to pass along a message or something, I'd be more than happy to do that.
They all look to each other. None of them seems to have anything to say to the living over there.
No, that's
And he
fair.
says, if there are some in Fernfield who are missing some loved ones, there have been some who have laid themselves to rest in our area. Tell them they are welcome to check our graveyards here.
Of course, I'll gladly pass that along. Okay. Let's go make you a friend, Amanda. Amanda's not her name. I have Martha. Martha.
So Martha toddles along with you as you go to the well.
Mm-hmm. Should I knock? Should you knock? I don't want to have my...
The nice banshee peers down and says, Deanna, there are visitors. So most of them are even alive. And there's a grumble from beneath the well. I know, some of them threw shit at me. Deanna, you mind your language. Some of them threw stuff at me.
Oops.
That was an accident. We didn't know you were down there. Sorry about that. Hello, my name's Art. I've got somebody here who wants to meet you. Her name's Martha. She's looking for a friend.
There's a bit of a pause, and then the sound of clapping, as you see this sort of skinless, meaty mass begin to crawl its way up the well. And eventually, you do see this thing that looks roughly the size of a pony, and roughly the shape of a pony, if a pony was made by Clive Barker. With fish-like fins on its long hooved legs, a fleshless skull where the horse's head should be, and then a partially skinned little girl from the waist up growing out of the middle of its back, and wearing a kind of frumpy little dress that's wet and kind of mildewy.
Is there art of this character?
Not in her child stage, no.
Fair enough. Howdy. My name's Art, and this is Martha. She wanted to say hi and make a new friend.
Hi. The Knuckle of E girl looks at her. Are you like 5? Yeah? How old are you? I'm 7. Oh. Come on, I'll show you around. And she starts showing Martha around the village. The nice banshee watches with a prude smile on her face. She's not acting like it, but she really does need a friend.
Yep. And Martha needs to make friends and have socialization, but she's also on one of those quests where she's got to go thwart a wizard, and 9 times out of 10, it's better to just immediately meet a potential problem head on. So rather than having to fish her out of a well, just invite her up the well and let them hang out.
Your child's thwarting a wizard.
Yeah, not my direct child. One we're helping out. My kids are over back in Bretons.
I see. She's not my direct child either.
Ah.
Her
What's
father did not want a female heir, so we took her in.
Good of you. And she seems like she's doing well, so you're doing a good job.
We're trying our best. It's not often that we have to raise new life.
No?
It's good, though. It gives Colette a reason to make bread. One of the
She
Doodle
seemed-
hands goes back in that house that you saw before. And you do hear the sound of baking.
Well, that's good. Always. And you know the old phrase, it takes a village to raise a child or something like that.
She nods. You're going to many goblin villages?
Oh yeah, a couple of goblin villages, a couple of goblin cities, going to the human ones as well. Mostly because there's a goblin war, and the more people that are aware ahead of time that aren't influenced by an army marching into their town means we can stop it and I can go lay back down. Maybe.
Would you, by chance, be visiting the village of Betelebel?
Betelabel.
Eventually.
Yes, it's on our route at some point down the road. Let me take a look at my map here. Betelabel, yes. We're gonna hit Nine Rouge and the stronghold of the Grum Bouge first, and the Barbarant's fortress, so that Martha can go tell off a wizard and befriend a giant snail monster. But after that, yeah, we'll be heading through the marsh to Betelabel. Do you have something I want to pass on?
Ask the Queen of Fright, the Lady of Fright, if she would perhaps be willing to take in a very needy stray. She looks at Diana as she's playing with Martha. We can take care of her for now, but I fear in time we will not be able to provide for her. Knuckle of these get very large, you know.
Yes. Well, from what I've heard, yes. And I'd be more
Most
than
would
happy to
not
pass.
take one in. But I think the Lady of Fright might be understanding.
I'll be more than happy to ask for you. Worst thing she's gonna do is tell me no, how dare you, and try to cut my head off.
No, the worst thing she'd do is tell you no and then rip your face off.
There's not a whole lot of that left, to be fair.
She giggles. That is true.
Sorry, it's just to rip your face off. There's not much left, to be fair. Why do I make myself laugh that much? Oopsies.
It's fine. It was pretty good. So
But yeah. Art turns back to the party, gives a thumbs up.
Before you know it, the Knuckle of E-Girl and Martha are playing a variety of games in the area. There's actually a little hopscotch section you didn't find earlier. And the Knuckle of E-Girl is acting like she's too old for this and being, aloof big sister mode.
she's 2 whole years older.
Such a huge difference to children.
It is.
Mhm.
Practically ancient in child terms.
You're basically an adult as far as children are concerned when you're 7.
Yep.
Okay, TT.
Eventually, Doulahan returns with lots of freshly baked bread. One banshee comes out with a cask of wine, and they do all put together a meal for you. And while none of these creatures eat, they do enjoy seeing you guys eat. Probably in the sort of living vicariously through you sense. The kids play until they're well and truly tired, and eventually Martha goes to sleep in the caravan, and Deanna curls up by her well and reads some old parchments that the banshees have collected for her.
Grugan, once he gets a chance and she doesn't look like she's busy, will ask if the quiet banshee will step over to the side to speak to him privately.
Oh yeah, she absolutely will.
Okay. TT, what was that guy's name again?
Yeah. You're a good pal.
Yeah, my friend.
Yeah, you're your buddy. I've got it. Give me a second. I'm going to find out my notes because I don't have it off the top of my head.
That's fine.
Bum. Come on, where the hell are you?
Because I'm looking.
Okay. General Getter Pourrier. I can't pronounce French. Why am I trying?
It's a party.
Okay. I'm not going.
General Gator Potpourri.
That's just what I'm going to call him when I'm referring to him because I'm not going to try to say that name.
Yeah.
He's going to ask. I don't want to be rude and bring up bad memories of things, but is she related to? And he's going to say that name because I'm not going to.
Yeah. The banshees in general look sad. So when a banshee expresses sadness, it is expressed very, very powerfully. And she does just have like the most heart-wrenching frown with her full body as she says, "Yes, like most undead fairies, we are all unseelie, and the general did come through here and try to dispose of the unwanted child.
There's a deep and angry grimace that crosses his face, and he goes, "Yeah, he would, wouldn't he?"
She was just a babe. He threw her down the well in hopes that she would crack her head upon the bottom. And then she fumbles with her fingers. I may have reached out before she hit the bottom. I know it's not my place, but
No,
she was a child.
the protection of children is kind of transcends things, doesn't it?
She nods. We've raised her our own as best we can.
Believe me, whatever job you did is better than whatever he could have done, even if he did want her.
We have been lucky he has not visited since. But we have told our child to lay low and stay in the well during the day, just in case.
It's good advice.
It's hard on her, though. She needs to meet friends of people who are alive.
We'll ask the lady if she can relocate.
Thank you. Do you know this general well?
And his face kind of scrunches, and it's weird because it's a pig face, and they can make some horrible faces. More well than I would like.
She nods. I think he lives up to the fearsome reputation of his people. But we're trying to show his daughter, but she doesn't have to be that way, and I think it's working.
The fact that she's willing to play with a human child and not outright say no with disgust in her voice is... It's better that she grew up here, even if she was lonely. He'll thank her for speaking to him in private and go back to the bread and wine.
And you'll have a pleasant time, and if you like, you can try and convince these undead fairies to take part in the anti-war effort. Or simply leave them to their business. I'm not your boss.
Go ahead, guys. I'm gonna have to cough after all that talking, so... Okay.
Who wants to try rallying the troops? Art?
I don't know if we can rally the troops, to be fair, boss. We let them know.
You're the orator.
I mean, I am the orator, and there's probably something I could do, but it's also like they don't. Most of them physically can't come out during the day. Yeah.
True, but that gives them an advantage. They have to attack at night, and humans aren't good at night.
You know, that's one. That's a good thing.
I mean, it's fine. You don't have to. You
No,
can
I'm
just
trying to
enjoy a nice bread and wine party.
I'm trying to figure out how I would
Very
persuade
French.
him.
I guess I thought with that Doulahan's comment earlier, they already were kind of in on the war.
Some of
Yeah,
them are thinking about it.
Okay.
They said they implied they knew of Garston the First, right?
Yeah.
Or you could try telling them it's like the only thing he inherited was his father's battle prowess, but definitely didn't inherit his honor or his goodwill.
I mean, that's a fair point, yeah. So I'm gonna go look for the Doulahan who spoke up, which I'm assuming is this one on top, but it could be this one
Yeah.
on the bottom.
I'll allow it. Allow it.
So I guess Art's gonna settle up. It's like, so the only good thing that the Garston Jr. has inherited from his father is his battle prowess. He loves just to throw away lives and waste and do it all for fame and power, instead of actually taking care of his people.
The Doulahan turns to you, and you can feel a malicious grin, even though it's not currently carrying its bloated head. Does this man not fear consequences for such bloodthirsty behavior?
Oh, absolutely. He is so absorbed into the treasures and riches he can steal from the living and the dead alike. We've watched his armies already burn down towns. We've watched them try to coerce entire cities under their sway to garner their support. If it wasn't for the fact that we found a paragon along the way, I'm not sure we would have had even a good chance with how clever he was trying to be. But we're rallying the heart and soul of Frankane for its defense.
So an army led by a man who does not have proper fear of death. And the Doulahan looks at some of its fellows, and a lot of them are starting to get on board.
And the best part is, since he's so, I don't want to say egotistical, but he's so pompous that they rest in large camps at night. They don't even march during the evening like they used to.
It
You know.
seems, my friends, the Doulahan says, looking to the Banshees, that this army of invaders does not fear death, nor mind the lamentations of women. And suddenly the Banshees are all looking very keen.
And if I may chime in just a little bit, for as long as they continue to march across Frankane, they give opportunity to Rawhead.
That's true. We have that whole angle we hadn't talked about yet.
The Banshees and Doulahans all immediately blanch. As ghosts,
The red caps.
they are not vulnerable to red caps, but still they know the horror that red caps can inflict.
Being fairies, yeah, Duck was relying on that. Goes, the red caps spread because of the fear that this Goblin Slayer army sends before them, driving them into desperation to give up their own blood,
And
becoming the undead.
pounds a fist on the table and says, "There is an order to death. We are that order."
And there is much death during war, isn't there?
And one of the Dulan says, "Aye, but there could be more. And the deaths of the right people." And there we go. Now we've rallied the undead fairies to your side.
Get them pissed off about the other undead fairies.
Yay, Ghost Army.
We're building it. We're building it there. Like, it really would be a fucking horrifying thing to have a bunch of banshees, Doulahans, and phantom carriages after you, because a lot of their whole thing is all they gotta do is call your name and you're dead.
Oh yeah. And Art's actually going to like grab a scrap piece of paper from his gear and sketch out the current like uniform logos and everything. And he'll pass it off. It's like, so this is what they're doing. They're the ones dressed in red, ironically enough. I believe the Francaine soldiers are in blue, and they're fighting for their homeland, and they know what's at stake. If you can leave them alone as much as you can, be appreciated. But yeah. Have at 'em, I guess, guys. If I can avoid more pointless deaths, I can avoid more pointless deaths.
And one of the Doulahans raises a glass, an empty glass, for Francaine! For goblins and boogeymen and things that go bump in the night!
I'll raise a glass to that.
I'll raise a glass to that.
And you all have, bizarre as it may be, a very pleasant night with a whole bunch of dead people.
We're used to having pleasant nights with one dead person.
Eventually you all sit down for the night and the ghosts go about their business. And when you wake up in the morning, Deanna is back in her well, but Martha says goodbye to her and she waves back. And you have successfully discovered the Banshee Town. Yippee! And rallied them to your cause. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
The Breton soldiers are gonna be sleeping one night and they're just gonna have a really bad time.
Well, my thought process is we do know that there is a branch of Breton soldiers that are trying to hunt down a Tarrasque right now that are in the way before everybody else from here.
That is true. As you get ready to head to Firmfield, you actually you come across something strange as you start to move out of the foggy plains around the little Banshee town. You see a bunch of people traveling along the Treadscar path. They have carts driven by oxen and a great deal of belongings, and they're all heading towards Merlot. As you see them traveling, none of them look particularly well off. In fact, you could very easily hazard a guess that they are all, to a T, farmers.
Grugan and the human guys, he's gonna say, "Hello, where are you headed from?"
Firmfield.
What?
There's a hideous beast headed our way, so we're going to the fort in hopes that we'll be safe.
Is it a snail?
No, but you're not that far off. It has a shell like a tortoise and 6 limbs and a head like a lion.
Oh,
We just left Merlot. It is still defended and defensible.
they'll take you in.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I've never seen a creature this large. I've heard rumors of there being something like it in the Briarwood, but well, Renoir Baptiste will keep us safe.
Who?
The guy, what royalty is he? The Baron who's supposed to be in charge of the Merlot fortress.
He is not there, but there are defenders there. He was summoned to Leonis.
It is armed with experienced warriors. You should be safe.
And they thank you and begin heading away. And as they do, they're like, "You should come with us. The Dragon Slayer said that it's not going to be an easy fight."
A Dragon Slayer?
Inside the cart, Martha's ears prick and she looks out. Yes. Oh, we were so thankful when the creature first showed up over the mountains. A Dragon Slayer arrived. Not a day after. Sir George Garston III. I've heard he's better than his father. He is young. He has not done his father's accomplishments, but he seems a noble and gallant knight.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
George.
Go ahead.
George Jr. is definitely should be the black sheep of the Garstons.
He has a whole field of soldiers, and they're setting up traps for the beast.
Gives a knowing look to Art.
Art's
Like,
just
you
got
fucked up.
Art's just got his hands in his face, like.
You fucked up.
We appreciate the offer of coming with you, but we have to follow the Treadscar further in. We're trying to warn as many people as we can about the rest of...
The rest? What do you mean? Is there something else going on?
Not all of the Bretonch soldiers here are here for...
Dragon slaying.
There's another bloody fucking goblin war just from the inside of the carriage.
Yes, the Bretonch are here waging another goblin war. They've already sacked Cabernet, and that was the one they sacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are trying to move on Melanbria and Lutetia, but these ones actually remember that they follow a Dragon Slayer, so they came to fight this one.
One farmer snorts, says, "Ah, there's some good news. They'll finally give those little bastards what they deserve."
Duck resisting, dusting him.
A couple others nod and assent. It's like, "When they took my little girl, I'll never forgive those creatures."
You do know that they're not actually starting the war to fight goblins, right? They burned They burned down an entire town that had none in it and just took everybody's things.
Yeah,
Some
it was
some of them
Cavern-
look a little disturbed at that. Others look incredulous, like they don't quite believe that's true.
If I
This one
hadn't,
says,
if we hadn't seen Allsauce's ashes, I wouldn't have believed it myself.
"What I know is that those creatures broke into my house and stole my little girl. I saw its red eyes as I tried to take her back. They dragged her
Does it have
off.
a red hood?
Aye. Horrid little thing.
How long ago was this?
"3 weeks. 4 days.
Oh shit.
They dragged her off to the fairy mounds. Past the fortress of that mad wizard. You would know roughly where that would be on your map.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Grave news, but still. Some of the Breton
She's not the only
soldiers-
one that's gone missing. Children, beggars,
Yeah.
one entire family. If the Bretons are here to get rid of the goblins, we accept.
Well,
One's like, personally, I'm more worried about the giant lion turtle monster.
You should be.
Yeah, that one will just eat you out. Eat towns if they're not taken care of.
They mentioned a snail. Does anyone else remember hearing about a snail on that island down in the lake? I mean, from sailors, but how much can you trust a sailor's story? Mm-hmm.
well, they will protect you in Merlot. God damn it! What's the fucking name of that town there?
Merlot.
Merlot. It is defensible. There are people there to defend it. We do have to keep going, though.
Good luck to you. May you face no trouble from goblins or monsters.
Good luck on your
Right.
travel to safety.
And the farmers make their way back, past you towards the fortress of Merlot,
What a
leaving
dick.
you for a moment alone on the road.
Well, that's not good news.
No.
If that really was a red cap, does that mean Nain is fallen?
It could mean
You don't
Nain
know.
Rouge. Could be Nain Rouge. Could just be another small goblin town.
It could mean many things. He didn't seem particularly fussed to blame something for stealing his child. He probably wasn't accurate.
But I mean, the Breton soldiers are there. Goblins are doing quote like, and Art does the air quotes. Goblins are doing things. It is what they were trying to set up to do.
And DM,
Mm-hmm.
goblin with red eyes, that sounds like a red cap, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are non-red cap goblins with red eyes, but he also confirmed a red hood.
Mhm.
He did.
It's not a huge leap to make, especially with recent events.
Yeah.
We can only hope
But
that's
it's a-
not all of Nain Rouge, then.
Also, my fear is This isn't. This is the follow-up to Rask.
Yeah, that I was also wondering that.
The sequel to 2.0.
We're gonna have to go and look
Well-
at it. So.
It's possible it's that. It's also possible that the one that you guys had defeated managed to slip its bond somehow.
True.
You know, keeping Godzilla captured is harder than hiring him out.
This is also assuming that our intrepid Dragon Slayer didn't free him to get the glory of the kill, and has just caused the chaos since.
Also a possibility.
Well, we'll find out if we keep following this path. Do we want to avoid Fairfield now that we know it's full of our friends?
Flavian, what do you think? King?
Here.
Oh, Doc
Leave.
went. Oh, sorry.
What do you think, Flavian?
Since Doc could go. Since it's your brother there, what do you feel?
As far as I'm concerned, he's still on the other side of this conflict. I thought we sent him off here basically to die anyway.
Yeah, harsh. True, though.
So whatever.
Harsh.
If he dies against that thing, then that's one issue solved for us. And if he kills it, that's another issue solved for us.
Cover Martha's ears.
But, I don't know about those red cap guys being around again. Not exactly pleased to hear that.
No.
Nobody ever should be.
But,
This is a bad situation all around.
guess this doesn't bode well for the greater conflict, though, I suppose. You know, now that I think about it, if my brother is successful defeating that Tarask thing, and the red caps are out there stealing people like the goblins, then that's some bad PR for our side.
Yeah. It would be a win for both of them.
Ah, damn it. Ugh. Well, I don't know. How are we supposed to make sure then that he doesn't kill the Tarask?
Steal his armor
Art.
again?
Art sits there for a second thinking, and a light bulb goes off.
Candle?
What if we convince him to let the big monsters fight?
Big monsters.
Well, the Trask's knocking around and setting all them traps, right?
Yeah.
What if he drove the Trask to where the giant snail is? Because they don't like each other. And gets him off of them hunting that until one of them is quote-unquote weakened. And that temporarily at least stops the dragon slaying side of things. And then we can go deal with the red cap situation while they're parading off of that and see
And
how that
bring
goes.
Martha to Barbarance.
Bring Marta to Barbarance so she can kick his ass. Because, like, at this point, I'm not. Your parents are far enough away. I'm not worried about saying that to your face. You're going to kick the wizard's ass.
Wow, you're teaching me as many swears as Deanna did.
You're 5. You're well old enough to learn them.
Fuck yeah!
Another 120 years to go.
I don't know, though. Kind of came out here specifically to dragon slay that thing. I think might be hard to convince him to possibly lose his quarry like that.
I also don't think he can physically stop it, to be fair.
What if we just told him it wasn't the right thing to do to hurt the Trask? But all it wants is just some food.
I don't know how well he'd take that, to be honest with you. You know how grown-ups get.
She nods. Grown-ups suck. But not all of them.
Well, no, not all of them.
Yeah, the rest of them we call suckers.
Oh, Flavian. Never change, unless it's part of a meaningful character arc.
Either that, or suppose we should keep in mind that he is separated at this point from the rest of the forces. Potentially at his weakest he could possibly be.
You aiming for a little fratricide?
I'm not saying I'm looking to kill him, but obviously
She
it
could
sting
be
a little
an
bit
accident.
after a prior meeting, but this is a war we're in, right?
You'd be
This is
correct.
true.
Only there's some dragon in some other country we could just point him at and then have complete rid of him.
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't exactly know a whole lot of dragons before I kicked the bucket. I could barely speak the language.
I thought you could only speak
Oh,
that
yeah,
because
I-
of your wife.
And that's the only reason I can speak the language as much as I can.
Unless we could send the Tarask somewhere else.
Say we take the Trask and move it somewhere else.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, things to ponder. We'll be hitting Firmfield next time. We're going to end our session a little short tonight, but we are close-ish to our Cinderella hour anyway, so I don't feel too bad. But yeah, next time, Firmfield, George III, another Tarask encounter,
Yay!
and possibly the fortress of the dread wizard Barbarant.